Buenos dias, mi gente. Today I have two amazing people joining me in this conversation. I have Heidi Sanders, Director for Jewish Peoplehood from the Marin JCC, and I have also Patrice, an amazing executive producer of Not in Our Town. So we're gonna talk today about hate, about an amazing event that we're organizing, all these three organizations. But first, please, would you mind to introducing yourself and what do you do in your organizations? Welcome.
Thank you. Absolutely, it's wonderful to be here. My name is Heidi Sanders. I'm the director of the Center for Jewish Peoplehood at the Osher Marin JCC. The JCC has been serving the Jewish community as a hub for Jewish life and culture and wellness for the past 70 years. And I present the Jewish arts and culture programs there.
Excellent, welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Patrice. I'm founder and director of Not in Our Town. We're an organization that works with communities and schools across the country to stop hate and bullying. And we have been working in a concentrated way with communities for 20 years, trying to learn from them about how to prevent hate crimes and how to build inclusion together.
Fantastic. So, you know, in today's time, hate is nothing new for our societies, right? In the humanization of groups have been happening at wartime, but now we are seeing it every day. And it's right here in Marin County, it's happening right now. So from your perspective, how do you see the importance of organizations, the importance of individuals to start really targeting these hate issues from the front of the issue, not going around it? So what do you think is important for us to do, and are we doing enough to fight hate here in Marin County?
I don't think we're doing enough anywhere. And I think the core message of Not in Our Town and what we try to get across is that we cannot address hate, prevent hate, deal with it unless we do it together. There has to be a response at a community-wide level. We have to organize ourselves. We have to build the kind of connections that we're trying to build with this event that you'll be talking about. We have to work to get to know each other and to be in relationship so that we can stop hate together. Mm-hmm. So we know that it is escalating, that there is an increase in reported hate crimes across the country. We are not an exception here in Marin, in the Bay Area. It is happening here, it is happening now. I think the really vital thing, first thing, is to get it out in the open and make a safe place for people to report what is happening to them. Your organization both play a key role in that, as do many other organizations in our area. How can we find a safe place for people to report it so that we can know about it and act together to support people who are targets of hate, and then really understand how we can get at it and work to prevent it with our young people, with our communities all together.
That's fantastic. We're going to talk about the event in a little bit, but the Marin JCC has been building bridges for many times across communities. How do you guys see yourself, your role in this fight against hate in our communities?
Absolutely. Well, I think that we've been striving to be a hub for cultural conversations throughout Marin, and so we've really worked hard to develop these types of partnerships through both arts and culture programs, but also through panel discussions, films. We're really hoping to attract as broad a subset of our population as possible. I know that in the wake of the bomb threats that the JCC faced in January 2017, we were really amazed at the outpouring of support from those in our community who we already had relationships with, as well as those in our community who we had not. And really just seeing how people were going to come together to help support our community really drove the point home that in a lot of ways we are siloed in Marin, and the time for action is now. It's the best way really, I think, to promote this type of action are these connections that Patrice has been talking about and that all of our organizations are working towards. And really when we're talking about these connections, the best way to do this and accomplish this is face-to-face. So much is done behind screens these days, and it's so much easier for hate speech to be promoted in that way. So I think these types of programs that we're really coming together for is an attempt to break down those sorts of barriers and walls.
That's fantastic. So let's talk about a little bit about the event. I don't know how much you can tell us about the movie. We don't want people to go there and see it. But What is the documentary about?
So the film is a story about people on Long Island in New York who woke up on a Sunday morning to discover that an Ecuadorian immigrant who had lived in the town for many years had been murdered in an attack by 7 local high school students in a hate crime attack. And these young people, it was discovered early on, had been roaming the streets of this town for months and months looking for so-called Mexicans to beat up. And the community had to grapple with, how could we have let our children think that this was okay? What was happening in our community that allowed this to occur? And so we follow, this film is the story of what the community did in the aftermath. And I think the point of the discussion, and what we've seen come out over and over in discussions of this film, is a community that sees this film talks about what's happening in our town that we need to talk about right now, so we make sure that doesn't happen here. And we've screened this film a number of times in Marin County. It's been powerful discussions, particularly when young people participate and they surface some of the things that have been happening. And we look forward to some brave people who may be able to come forward in the discussion around this film and around what's happening in Marin.
It's fantastic. And it's going to be hosted at the Marin JCC.
Yes.
So tell us more about what to expect and the logistics there.
So we really wanted the film to, springboard this larger conversation, but we also wanted to bring people together and create a type of, safe and inclusive environment, because the type of hatred that I might have experienced myself is completely different than the type of hatred that somebody, walking, on the Canal in San Rafael might be experiencing. And everybody has their own language, everybody has their own experiences, and we really want people to feel heard and that their experiences are taken into account. So we will start with the candlelight vigils to have everybody have a chance to come together. We'll have some welcoming remarks from local community leaders, and then we will go into the JCC following that and have the film screening, and then really start digging into some of these topics with a panel discussion with Dan Bishop, who is the SF police chief, San Rafael police chief, Mary Jane Burke, yes, Peg Sandell, the head of school at Brandeis Marin.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic
And
speakers.
then your own Lucia Martel Dow.
Yes.
So we're excited. And it'll be moderated by Joanne Green, and we're really hoping to have a wide-ranging conversation, and then we're just going to open it up to audience discussion. And as Patrice said, we're hoping that there are a few who are brave enough to be able to share their experiences and help lead us into a discussion that really is crafted by our entire community.
That's fantastic. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna learn a lot, but most importantly, we're gonna build community. I think if we are together in this, we might have a chance to fight hate in our communities. So the event is free.
Yes.
But we are recommending for people to RSVP.
Please RSVP.
Yes.
Yes.
So the space is limited.
It is.
Right. So please RSVP. You're gonna have the links to the event where you can actually submit your participation, and please attend. I think this is a great opportunity for us to speak very loudly that here in Marin County we're not gonna tolerate hate, and that we are working together to fight it. Amazing things are already happening in Marin County. You guys are having a strong presence in Novato. Tell us a bit about what's going on there.
I'll tell you about Novato. I just want to say one thing also. I think there are many people who do not experience hate, and they think, maybe this isn't a problem. Maybe this isn't a problem that I have to deal with. I think until we overcome that kind of, some people call it white blindness, or blindness based on this kind of privilege that people who don't experience hate walk around the world with. If we ever want to build true community, we have to overcome that. We have to come into spaces where we speak together and learn about what's happening to each other. And so I think this is an important opportunity, and convening people in person is really important. We are so excited to be working with the community of Novato. After one of our screenings, we met with some local leaders in Novato and said, is this a community that wants to go deeper, that wants to build a sustainable movement in their community to not just prevent hate crimes, but to make sure that everybody in this community feels included and encouraged to participate in public life. And so the the school superintendent and school leaders were there. The meetings are convened there. The police chief, the city of Novato are all participants, and there is a really amazing, diverse group of residents in Novato who are carrying this forward.
That's fantastic.
I know that they're working on another event. They've had 3 screenings so far. They're having another event about implicit bias. So I think you're going to see some exciting things, and we hope that's replicated in more sustainable activity in other parts of Marin as well.
That's fantastic. Congratulations, Novato. You're leading the conversations and the efforts around this, and we definitely, I'm hoping that after this event, San Rafael become also a city that follow those steps. It has been fantastic. I know that we can talk about this issue all day, but just a final reminder for people is going to be Tuesday, March 5th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. at the Marin JCC. Please RSVP. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you at that event.
Thank
hopefully.
you.
Thank you
Okay.
for your leadership, Omar.
Thank you.